American boys need help, but rescuing them from their masculinity is not the answer. A popular new documentary suggests that American boys are driven to violent behavior and depression by a harmful social code of masculinity, and it insists that boys are captive to a sort of guy culture that suppresses their humanity, excites their drive for dominance, and renders many of them dangerous. The problem with this perspective is that it fails to observe a critical distinction between healthy masculinity versus pathological masculinity. Now, there are boys who are pathologically masculine. They are bullies, and worse, they establish their male cred through destruction and mayhem and preying on weak and vulnerable people. But the large majority of American boys evince a healthy masculinity. They build rather than destroy. Their instinct is not to exploit vulnerable people, but to protect and defend them. It's true that boys need guidance and discipline from the adults in their lives. And I agree with this documentary. We shouldn't be harshly telling a troubled boy to man up. But teaching him to be a gentleman is a tried and true way to bring out the best in males. Many educators and gender scholars believe that we need to free our young men to be more emotionally expressive, just the way women tend to be. Now, of course, parents should encourage emotional literacy in their sons, but at the same time, they should keep in mind that male reticence has its advantages. Research has shown that boys do not value problem talk as much as girls. I mean, personal disclosure helps girls feel better and makes them feel understood, according to these studies. But when they asked boys about problem talk, it wasn't that boys were ashamed or thought it was unmasculine. The boys told them that they found it a waste of time. This doesn't mean that they are emotionally impaired. The male reserve or reticence is protective and adaptive. Now, if you want a boy to be more forthcoming, you need to persuade him that it serves a practical purpose. You need to engage his male instinct for problem solving. Jennifer Newsom's documentary gives the impression that the average adolescent boy in the United States is sad, isolated, depressed, alone. But those conditions afflict a fairly small percentage of boys. It's hardly the norm. The energy, competitiveness, and corporal daring of normal males, these are responsible for much good in the world. I mean, no one denies that boys' aggressive and risk-taking tendencies must be socialized and channeled to constructive ends. But being a boy is not a social disease, and the de-Tom Sawyering of American boys should not be on anyone's agenda.